Welcome to Beat Diabetes. As you can see, I have a beautiful lady beside me who happens to be my wife. Say hello, Benedicta.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today?
That's what we do here at Beat Diabetes. We go after the bad guys in your diet.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. We're going to talk about pumpkin pie and pie in general. I don't know, did you ever eat pie in Nigeria before you came over here?
We eat a lot of things.
But not pie.
Pie?
Pie.
Or
if you live in...
Maybe not.
Okay. Now, it's not really pie if you're in the deep south. It's pie.
Pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin
Not
pie.
Pumpkin pie. One of the funniest things I ever heard a preacher say, I heard a preacher at a church service one time said this. He said, I grew up thinking my name was Mike. My parents called me Mike. My friends called me Mike. And I call myself Mike.
Okay.
He said, and then I got married to a girl from the South, and I found out that's not my name. My name is Mac.
Mac.
So, all right, being a little silly. All right. So we actually made something similar to this 6 years ago, but there's a lot of people have come and gone since then, and it's just time for a refresher.
Yeah.
I could have called this the updated pumpkin pie, but the reality is it's not that much updated. It's basically what I discovered years ago.
Yep.
So let me just talk about what I discovered and how this came into being. Libby's, this isn't even Libby's. This is great value. I thought I had a Libby's. Anyway, Libby's pumpkin pie has its own recipe. It's famous. Everybody uses it. Maybe not everybody. And I looked at that and I said, how can we make this much more acceptable and lower in carbs? Now, I have written out the ingredients to the Libby's pumpkin pie recipe, and 3 items I have put in a red font. Read the first one.
Pie crust?
The pie crust. It calls for a pie crust. Well, pie crusts are made of white flour. And that turns into sugar. So there's your problem number 1. Detective Dennis has discovered a bad guy.
Detective Dennis and Benedicta.
And
Don't
Benedicta.
forget, what are you doing?
Right. What was I even thinking? And then Detective Dennis and Benedicta discovered another bad guy.
Another one.
Read the second one.
And that is sugar.
Sugar. It calls for 3/4 cup of sugar. Sugar is like the worst of all the bad guys. It's the most evil thing you could possibly eat. Second, it would be bread or white flour. So there's 2 bad guys, and there's a third one, kind of sneaky.
Yeah.
You might not suppose it's too much of a bad guy. Read the third one.
Evaporated milk.
Evaporated milk, Nestle Carnation evaporated milk. I had a hard time figuring out how many carbs are in a 12-ounce can, because that's what it called for, 12 ounces. And they want to tell you how much is in a tablespoon.
Okay.
I didn't care about a tablespoon because it calls for the whole 12 ounces to be put into the pie. So I had to do some real digging and Googling to finally figure out that there's about 36 grams of carbs, if I'm not mistaken, in that one can. So you're going to dump the whole can in the pie. You've got 36 grams of carbs. And by the time you take the evaporated milk, plus the sugar, plus that pie shell, you've got a lot of carbs. You've got a glucose spike, which we do not want, do we?
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want it.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, Self?
Right.
What can we do to make this more acceptable?
What can we do?
Well, the sugar is easy, right?
Yeah,
you just substitute your non-sugar sweetener of choice.
Just
monk
arrest
fruit,
it and sweat.
allulose, whatever you like to use.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one. The pie crust is a little bit trickier.
Okay.
But I found early on, and I'm so glad I found this early on in my low-carb journey, I found that you can make a pie crust out of crushed almonds.
Yeah.
You put them in a chopper, you just chop them up fine. Now, I had somebody say, well, can't you just use almond flour? And the answer is you probably could, but I like the crunchiness of this crushed almonds pie crust better. So we solved the sugar by switching it to a non-sugar sweetener. We solved the pie crust by going with the almond crushed almonds, but you could use any nut, really. You could even use peanuts if you like peanuts, or you could use pecans or walnuts. Just about any nut you could substitute for that. So don't feel like you have to use almonds.
Yeah.
The last one, the evaporated milk, I turned to my old friend. Who is my old friend that we keep in our refrigerator every day, every month, every week of the year?
Whipped cream?
Heavy whipping cream. Yeah, heavy whipping cream. So I thought, what if instead of evaporated milk, I use heavy whipping cream? Now, I was looking today, doing a little research, and I realized I could use cream cheese in place of this Carnation evaporated milk. So that, I haven't tried it. I won't guarantee it'll work. I have a feeling it probably would. Anyway, this is what we did. We're going to go and show you how to make it, and then we're going to try it and let you experience the official Benedicta taste test. She did it 6 years ago. Will it have changed in 6 years? You haven't changed in 6 years.
Some kind of miracle.
You're as beautiful as you were 6 years ago, all the other years that I've known you. What's your secret?
Well, Jesus is my secret to living. Whether old or young.
Yeah. Let's go to how you make it. And by the way, that crust you could use for a lot of different pies. You could put a cheesecake in it, which I do sometimes. You could even do some kind of a berry concoction. So it's not limited to pumpkin pie. To make the pie shell, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Grind 1½ cups of almonds or other nuts in a food chopper. Mix in 2 tablespoons of non-sugar sweetener with the ground almonds, and then set aside. Melt 5 tablespoons of butter in your microwave or on the stovetop, and then add to the nut mixture and stir until evenly distributed. Spray a 9-inch pie plate with cooking spray. Pat the nut mixture into your pie plate using a spoon or fingers to cover the bottom and partially up the sides. Bake for about 10 minutes at 350 degrees, then take out of your oven and cool on a wire rack for about an hour. To make the pie filling, start by blending 2 large eggs together. Then add a ½ teaspoon of salt. Add 1 3/4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Add 12 ounces of heavy whipping cream. Then add 3/4 of monk fruit, allulose, or any sugar substitute of your choice. Then add the pumpkin, 1 can of Libby's 100% pure pumpkin. Stir everything thoroughly until it begins to look like this. Then pour the mixture into the pie shell and bake in a preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Then reduce the temperature to 350 and continue to bake for somewhere between 35 and 45 more minutes. Cool on a wire rack for probably a couple of hours, and then you can serve it immediately or refrigerate it if you like it a little bit firmer. Top with whipped cream before serving if you like, and I like. Okay, now you know how to do it. We're going to give it the taste test. Go ahead and get the plates out, and you're going to be our official cutter. Now, we've got our coffee, except there's no coffee.
Yeah.
This is a prop, not because we don't want coffee or don't like coffee, but because it was just too much of a hassle to get it ready and bring it upstairs into our studio. So we'll have coffee later. But anyway, it goes great with coffee. Go ahead, start cutting.
Whipped cream.
Right. Pumpkin pie would not be complete without whipped cream. The good news for diabetics is it has very few carbs, and when you buy it with the keto version, it has actually 0 carbs. Mm-hmm. And, there's a song about Christmas. It says, there's no place like home for the holidays.
Okay.
And he talks about he met a man who lived in Tennessee, and he was heading for Pennsylvania.
Right.
And some homemade pumpkin pie. Well, we're not in Pennsylvania. We're in Texas, but we do have the homemade pumpkin pie. Go ahead and put some on yours. Wow, that's a lot.
Yep. Yes.
All right. Well, now it's time to hear from Benedicta. Go ahead and take a big old bite of that and tell us how you like it. I'll be taking a bite of mine as well.
Okay, now. Really good.
I don't know that you've ever eaten like a standard pumpkin pie, because ever since you've known me, I've been making these. But the truth is, I like these better. This is not just manageable. It's not just like, well, I guess I'll have to eat the low-carb version, but I don't like it all that much. No, I like it better. The crust is better. The flavor is good. The only thing that you may find off-putting is the fact that the texture is different. It's not going to have the same texture as a regular pumpkin pie. It's going to be a little bit more almost like a firm pudding rather than the harder version. But I don't mind that. I like it. To me, this is outstanding. If the world knew how to do these and took a taste, they'd love it.
Really good.
Really good. Well, holidays are coming.
Yep.
We got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas. Treat yourself and make one of these. You know, the pumpkin doesn't have all that many carbs.
Yeah.
But the sugar you add, and then that pie shell, and then that evaporated milk, that's where most of the carbs are going to come from.
Yeah.
And by modifying that and switching it out with low-carb ingredients, you've got a dandy, and you don't sacrifice taste at all.
No.
So give them a final closing word. If they like this video, what in the world should they do?
If you like this video, don't hesitate to like it, comment on it, and try it if you want to. And if you like it, you can come back and tell us, in the description, write some things and tell us how much you love it. So
and subscribe.
So
you'll get notified when we come out with new taste sensations.
Yes.
God bless. We'll see you again.
Probably most of you know my wife Benedicta, but few of you know the amazing paths God has led her to bring her to where she is today. Benedicta was orphaned at an early age and lived with an elderly stepmother growing to adolescence. They were so poor, Benedicta had to drop out of school and sell food door to door for them to survive. As a teen, Benedicta got a job as a housemaid, which developed into a nightmare. She was required to cook, clean, wash, take care of the children, and she had to get up at 4 a.m. every day just to get her work started. Worse than that, she was frequently beaten. At around 20, she moved to the huge city of Lagos, where she started her own little business. Sometimes she prospered, but at other times she nearly starved and went days at a time without eating. At one point, she became so sick she passed out in her room and nearly died. She found herself outside of her body, and she was able to see the splendors of heaven until she was sent back with a command to share her story. One day, however, her life changed when an American evangelist came to her community to preach. And of course, that was me. The rest, as they say, is history. Benedicta has shared her life story in a recently published autobiography, and you can get it on Amazon as either an ebook or a paperback. A link to this book on Amazon is in the description.